Hey yo, thanks for tuning in to Celeb Sauce. It's the backup channel back in Celeb Up and bringing you all the breaking news. Kelly Rowland and Chris Brown must have heard us talking about them because they're back in the news today. During Sunday night's American Music Awards, Chris Brown won the award for Favorite R&B Artist, and Chris Brown didn't show up. He actually canceled his scheduled performance because they would not allow him to do his tribute to Michael Jackson. In his absence, his friend Kelly Rowland accepted his award for him, and when she went up to get the award, the crowd booed. But in normal Kelly fashion, Kelly shut it down with the quickness. When she got up on stage, she said, "Now Chris Brown isn't here tonight, so I'm accepting this award on his behalf." When the crowd booed, she said, "Excuse me, chill out." After checking the crowd, she thanked Chris for making great R&B music and said she wanted to thank him for being a great performer, and she accepted the award on his behalf and said congratulations to all the nominees in the category. Now, this is a classic example of what I was talking about the other day when it comes to Chris Brown and the reason why he's not ascending to the heights of Michael Jackson. Just because you couldn't do your tribute to Mike, you're not going to come out and perform for the fans? I mean, boo. Boo. I agree with the crowd. Boo. And let me say this. If Chris is listening, we have seen you do the Michael tribute, okay? It was wonderful, it was great, and we appreciated it. But you cannot live off of Mike's bedazzled coattails and shimmery socks forever. We want to see you do you, bruh. You do you. Another person who was dismayed with the AMAs was Kodak Black. Kodak's song, Super Gremlin, was up for Favorite Hip Hop Song against Future's Wait For You, and apparently the fans chose Future's Wait For You, and Kodak was not pleased, okay? Kodak went online and Kodak was like, "Look, my ish been in the lead for about 2 months. All of a sudden they trying to give my ish away today," shaking my head. "I just knew I won," frowny face, while showing a pic of a screenshot of the voting numbers. Kodak, come on now. Now, I must say, when I looked at that screenshot, Kodak was in the lead, so I don't know, something's looking a little sus. Something's looking a little sus. Now, in a surprise turn of events, Cardi B made an appearance at the AMAs and she performed with Glorilla. Some people were like, "Yo, why is she performing after the loss of Takeoff?" Look, what job do you know where you could take off 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks in the event of a loss? You know what I'm saying? Most jobs be trying to have you back in like 1, 2 days. You know what I'm saying? So Cardi is back to work and she's putting in that work, and kudos to Cardi. Now, as we all know, King Combs, aka Diddy's son, released the single Can't Stop Won't Stop with Kodak Black back in July. The song, which was inspired by the 1996 classic Crush on You, has now climbed to number 1 on Billboard's mainstream R&B charts. In response to the great accomplishment, King Combs said, quote, "Locking in my first number 1 record is crazy. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears went into getting this record where it is. We finally here, and we can't stop now." End quote. Now, my question is, should we let little King Combs believe that he did that all on his own without daddy's coins and connections? You know what I'm saying? Because what I'm thinking is, like, say I wanted to be a basketball player, right? And say I'm like Michael Jordan's daughter, right? And I'm like 5'5", right? And I'm on the court, and I'm coming down the court, and I'm crossing cats over. I'm acting like I'm Kobe out there. I'm putting a spin on them. And then I get to the end of the court, and I jump on my daddy's shoulders and I dunk the ball. Did I do that on my own? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Do you think that King Combs gets that number 1 spot without daddy's connections and coins? Now, while we're on the subject of musical accomplishments, I gotta get back to my man Nas. Now, we all know that Nas dropped King's Disease 3 last week, and after he dropped the album, Jay-Z came out the cut looking like a bougie Basquiat, and he's flashing his 24 Grammys, you know what I'm saying, trying to flex. And what Jay might not want you to know is that this week, not only did Nas's album hit the top 10 on the Billboard charts, but he also sold 27K in the first week, which ties him with Jay for the all-time high. If that's not relevant, I don't know what is. Yo, can somebody please get 21 Savage on the phone so we can hear what he has to say about that? I'd be very interested to hear about his irrelevant opinion. Now, speaking about the most relevant man who ever existed in the existence of the entire world, Ye is back once again. And Ye is throwing a sale. Ye recently bought up as much Balenciaga as he could buy, and he replaced the logos with Ye 24 and put that on everything. And now he's selling the gear to you for $20 a piece. In a recent post, Ye said, quote, "So what I did is I just bought every piece of Balenciaga that I ever seen. I just started writing Ye 24 on everything. All the pieces we gonna be selling for $20 a piece just to make sure that people get the best thing available." End quote. I understand what Ye is doing, and I think it's nice that he's trying to give a discount on the Balenciaga, but what I would prefer for Ye to do, right, is to create his own thing from scratch, okay? Stop putting money in masses' hands and keep the money for yourself, for you to use, for you, your family, and if you want to reinvest in your community. That's what I need you to do. Because when they give it to you, they can take it back. But when you create it on your own, they can't do anything to you. Ownership is where it's at, people, okay? So even though Ye is giving us the Balenciaga for $20, he paid full price for the Balenciaga, and those people are sitting up in their high chairs counting the money, and they're not affected by what Ye is doing. You know what I'm saying? I need Ye to start taking the FUBU approach. I need Ye to stop slapping his logos on their stuff and create his own thing. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole bunch of unbranded t-shirts that he can use from China, and he can put the Ye 24 on that and pocket all his dough, free of reappraisal or appraisal. So what do you think? Do you want the $20 Balenciaga from Ye, or do you want Ye to create his own thing from scratch? Let me know in the comments. Now, while we're talking about the ongoing power struggle between the powers that be and the proletariats, let's talk about Kyrie Irving. Now, Kyrie returned to the Nets on Sunday night after missing 8 games for posting the name of a quote-unquote anti-Semitic movie on his social media page. The star b-ball player apologized to the Jewish community again and again before being reinstated from his suspension. So on Sunday night, the Nets played the Boston Celtics, and a group of Black Hebrew Israelites stood in solidarity with Irving when he returned to the Barclays Center after being away for a few weeks. In response to the brothers standing outside of the arena, Jaylen Brown posted, "Kyrie Irving has a lot of support outside the Barclays Center today." And then here it came, the backlash. People were shocked and surprised that Jaylen Brown would make a positive comment about these Black Hebrew Israelite brothers who were standing outside of the Barclays Center supporting Kyrie Irving. All the humanity. And then it happened. Jaylen Brown apologized for posting the picture and making the comments. Jaylen said, "I wasn't aware of the specific group that was outside the Barclays Center tonight. I was celebrating the unification of our people, welcoming the return of Kyrie to the court. First glance, I thought it was a fraternity. I thought it was Omega Psi Phi showing support." Yo, can you hear those pedals moving backwards? Can you hear all of the backpedaling in that comment? Listen, if you support Kyrie Irving, support Kyrie Irving. If you don't support Kyrie Irving, don't support Kyrie Irving. But what I'm sick of right about now is seeing all these Black men being forced to apologize for things that they did not do wrong, right? Do you know that that was a tactic that masters used to use during slavery to keep Black people in check? They take the biggest black buck that they could find and they would beat them in front of the women and children to instill fear so that the younger generation and the women would not act out of line because they wouldn't want that to happen to them too. All I'm going to say is, does that sound familiar to you in any way, shape, or form? Look, when I see all these strong Black men apologizing for things that they did not do, it reminds me of how the police get young Black men to confess to crimes they didn't commit all the time just because they put the pressure on, okay? Think about the Central Park 5. Those young Black men were locked up for years for something that they didn't do because they were forced to confess. We got to get out of the habit as a people of getting into the practice of apologizing for we ain't do. Now, this weekend, a huge brawl broke out at a Moneybagg Yo concert in South Carolina. While Moneybagg was performing Waukesha, a number of women started throwing blows. And while we don't know for sure why the rumble in the jungle took place, some people have suggested that the women were fighting because they were trying to get closer to Moneybagg Yo. Despite the fact that the women were fighting in the crowd, the Memphis rapper didn't seem to sweat the fight, and he kept the show moving on. Yo, have we not learned anything from the Travis Scott incident? Sometimes you may have to pause until things simmer down and, get things in order before you continue rapping. You know what I'm saying? Because we want to make sure nobody gets hurt. Now, speaking about two people who are going blow for blow, Glorilla and DC Young Fly are going at it. In her song Get That Money featuring Nicki Poo, Glorilla drops a bar that says, quote, "Don't be scared to ask that ninja for some money. Ask that ninja for some money. He won't hesitate to ask it for no booty." End quote. So in response to the bars, DC Young Fly posted, "Fellas, don't be scared to ask her for her tax money and her job check for the next 5 years. Tell her you want that ish as soon as it clears. She won't hesitate to ask you for no D." Hey, yo, I'm glad to see them out here having fun. That's the way it's supposed to be. Shout out to Glorilla and DC Young Fly. But I tell you this much, ain't nobody getting my tax return for something that I can get for free. As much as DaBaby was popping a few years ago, I don't think anybody was putting DaBaby up there with the lyrical greats. But you know what? According to DaBaby, that needs to change, because DaBaby said his lyrical skills are equivalent to Eminem, J. Cole, and Kendrick Lamar. He said, quote, "You can put this beat on and I'll go Eminem level on that ish. You gotta get one of them to come F with me. You gotta go get Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole. I don't wanna disrespect nobody, but boy, raise your hand. I'm like that. Ninjas know too. And I'm like that for real. I don't gotta talk about nobody else's story. I talk about me." End quote. Yeah, I'm so glad that these young dudes have great self-esteem. I mean, I guess that's better than them having low self-esteem. But oh my goodness, they are off the hook right about now. Listen, I need y'all to let me know, because I listened to DaBaby's album and I didn't quite hear all of this lyrical skill, but maybe you did. Is DaBaby on the level of Eminem, J. Cole, and Kendrick Lamar? Let me know in the comments. Hey yo, thanks for tuning in to Celeb Source, your source for celebrity news. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Peace.